2021 Chevrolet Suburban. This thing is big, and it drives big, but it doesn't drive as big as it is. It does kind of shrink around you, and it really is impressive. Well, the first thing you notice when you get in and start driving this around is that this is handily the best driving Suburban ever. It's so good. This one is equipped with magnetic ride control and air suspension. The air suspension is adjustable compression. It can be stiffer or it can be softer, and it's also adjustable height, so that I can raise the vehicle up for off-roading, or I can lower it to make it easier to get into and out of the Suburban. It's really pretty trick, and I'm a fan of it. It has this humongous air shock absorber in there. It's just like 5 inches in diameter. It's one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. The Suburban is available in 1 billion different trims. There's the LS, the LT, the Z71, the Premier, and the High Country, which is what we are in. This is the fully loaded, top-of-the-line model. Now, the High Country is fully trimmed out, and it's so nice in here. I love this interior. I like the color. The seats are really comfortable, and this one has the optional rear seat entertainment packages. So there's 2 touchscreen displays on both the front seat backs. Pretty cool. Also, this is a power console. It moves back and forth. Not sure about what that's done. But wireless charging, USB-C ports, regular USB ports, and HDMI ports. You can plug in anything you want into the Suburban. This thing is a road trip king, has Apple CarPlay, Android Audio. A slight letdown, well, I don't like the stereo. The stereo could be a bit better. It's a Bose system, technically a premium audio system, and it's good. In a regular car, I would say good. But this is almost $100,000, and I really expect excellence from stereos in this price bracket. It just doesn't deliver. Under hood is a 6.2 liter V8 making 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. Now, the Suburban isn't exactly a vehicle that you feel like you want to drive fast, but you could. This thing does hustle when you get on the gas pedal. Now, no matter what engine you pick in the Suburban, it will be paired with a 10-speed automatic. Let's just say that you can tell it's a 10-speed. There is a lot of shifting going on. At low speeds, it's kind of clunky. I'm not really happy with this one. I've had a lot better experiences with the 8-speed units in various trucks, but I guess these things are so big and so powerful now that they really do need a triple overdrive, like one of these transmissions, to get decent fuel mileage out of it. This thing does weigh 6,000 pounds. The big thing about this truck is that it's a very big thing. It's just huge. It's humongous. It's not so much an issue on country roads like this, but when you get anything near a city, it is like driving a gigantic boat in traffic. It's the only car I've driven that has worse visibility out front than out back. It's a humongous hood, and it's very flat, and I can't see over it very well. Parking it and knowing where your corners are is really difficult in the Suburban. It has a 360 camera. It has a rear view camera. It's doing what it can, but this is just so much vehicle to park. It's kind of impractical. And I know you're saying, Clayton, Suburbans are supposed to be big. Well, my 99, which I love and have had for over 10 years, isn't that big. This is 6 inches longer and 4 inches wider than my 99 Suburban. But despite the added size, it doesn't have added room. Hip room is the same, shoulder room is 1 inch more, leg room 3.5 inches more. In the back, with all seats folded up, this has 6 cubic feet less cargo space than my smaller Suburban, and with all the seats folded down, 4.8 cubic feet less. So all this extra girth that makes it less drivable in various situations hasn't given it any more space than the Suburbans of old. And that is a packaging problem. Chevy, I know it's a Suburban, you have a lot of space to work with, but you can't get lazy on the packaging. I want a lot out of something this big. In the end, I can complain about not being able to fit 4x8 sheets of plywood in this thing, and I can complain that it's very, very expensive. But really, the Suburban's mission statement has changed. This is really just like a humongous luxury station wagon. It has all the tricks, it has all the electronic goodies, it rides like a car, handles like a car. It's fast, it's expensive. It's really a working man's truck no longer. For people that are going to buy into this segment, and I know because I live in this segment, they're going to buy the Suburban because there's really not much else left. The Excursion's gone, and everything else this size is a real luxury vehicle. But let's just say that I'm going to hold on to my 1999 Suburban a little while longer. For Driving.ca, I'm Clayton Seams, and don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitter for more SUV reviews and information.